Hey guys, build's going really well on the Aussie Cruzer, progressing very good. The aircraft's just behind the camera there. Just wanted to comment, I guess, on, I get a lot of feedback from individuals, so happy to keep doing the videos. Really enjoy getting the positive comments, and if I'm able to help someone out along the way, that's great. The reason I'm doing the video is obviously to help people out, but also it's my build log as well, easy to find stuff for future reference. I did have a couple of messages here, or requests if you like. A couple of them I probably can't read out, and physically impossible probably to put your head in other spots. But anyway, we'll move on. Hey Scott, loving your build series, you're fantastic, you know, great, best I've ever seen, that sort of stuff. Maybe not so many words. This is from Brock Owen, so this one's for you, Brock. A few weeks out from ordering a kit to build, and I wanted to know if you could do a video or write up on the top on the 10 biggest things that have caught you off guard or to be ready for when building full-size aeroplanes. I'd really appreciate it. Alright Brock, so I've had to think about that, and it's fairly easy I guess to assume that you know everything, but you don't. So I've written down a few things, come up with, I thought I don't think there's 10 things that I've didn't know before I started, but I've listed 10 things down that we can talk about, I guess. So number one, get online and read as much as you can. I reckon I've watched every Zenith CH750 video there is out there, but also during that time, so in Australia it took me 6 months to the day basically from the time you order the kit, pay the money, till the day it arrived. During that time I wish I had probably what I wasn't aware of. When the kit arrives, you'll get the drawings, so you could scratch build an aircraft if you like, and that's it. I believe there's meant to be a CD. I didn't receive a CD or anything. Get the drawings, and then I thought, hey, there has to be more than this. Then I learnt, so the kit was already sitting there before I learnt that you had to log on, get a password to the Zenith aircraft website, or the Builders Resources website. Also part of Zenith, I found there's a lot of use using the Zenair, Z-E-N-A-I-R website. So Zenith and Zenair, from what I understand, Zenith's American and Zenair is the Canadian counterpart. And there's two different forums. So you get on there, and I still can't remember exactly how I did it, but that's where you find your build manuals and your photos. But also, a lot of people say, oh, I'm building a 750, a Zenith 750. So is it the Cruzer, the SD, the Stoll, and there's another one, I think just a straight out 750, I'm not too sure. And there gets a bit of confusion there. So you do sort of shop around, find a particular item that you need, like a bracket or how to do something. So it might be the nose wheel assembly on the 750 Stoll might be clearer than what it is on the Cruzer. So you can do all that sort of research before you start. Okay, number two is, I would recommend you build up, while you're waiting for your kit to arrive, build up all your web links. Go online and build up all your links for, try and track down local manufacturers. Obviously you can use the big ones. I've got no dramas going off to Aircraft Spruce, those sort of places, the big manufacturers. They have the advantage, I guess, of being aircraft specific. You can flick through, if you want a start solenoid, they'll list 10 or 12 start solenoids and you work out which brand you want, click and collect and send it off. It takes about 2 weeks, I guess. Some days it's less, other times it's longer to come to Australia. So if you can source stuff locally, even better. A couple of times I've just needed 1 or 2 washers, like a penny washer. Obviously you can't go down to the hardware store and just buy a penny washer. It needs to be an AN standard. I've used washers from the hardware store to get by and move on while you order the AN part, the aircraft part, and once that comes in, just swap it out and replace it. Same goes with all your nylon lock nuts and that sort of thing. I know the ones on the tailplane, they're basically thrashed out. I'm going to replace the bolts and the nuts. Once it's all painted, I'll throw it all out, brand new stuff, hopefully do it up for once, and then you're good to go. So just build up a list of web links, which will include things like your electrical. You're going to need a lot of tools as well. So suss out in Australia, down to Bunnings, in their tool section, 90-degree drills, drill bits, Drill bits is another thing, I guess, where the kit manufacturer being the United States, they use the numbered drills, number 11, number 12, whereas in Australia you've got the metric and the imperial drills. But hello, a 316 drill, you drill a hole with a 316 drill bit and fit a 316 bolt, it doesn't fit. I think I'm using a number 11 drill bit. One thing I found really handy was obviously the vernier calipers. I've got like a $180 set, which is analog if you like. But I went down, just to take the guesswork out of it, I bought a $20 set, digital, and it's fantastic just because it doesn't have to be accurate, as long as it reads the same twice, if that makes sense. So you just measure something, it can be X, Y, Z, and then you size it up to X, Y, Z. So for the drill bits, for example, you wanted a 3/16 hole, measure the bolt, whatever it is, decimal, grab a drill bit, find that decimal size drill bit, and that's working really well for me. Also for marking your edge distances and that sort of stuff. So I got a cheap one of those, and that helped me a lot. Okay, number 3, practice. What you can do while you're waiting, I guess. The surprise is you get a CNC machined, CAD drawn. It's a beautiful kit, fantastic. All those holes, like you get a row of 10 holes, and they're immaculate. Edge distance is perfect. The spacing in between is fantastic. Then it comes time for the clunky old builder, a simple L bracket with 3 holes in it. Try as you may, you can punch the holes, etc. 10mm edge distance either direction, 3 holes, just practice on an L angle, 3 holes, and I guarantee they'll end up wonky. Just because when you offer it up, the holes in the airframe are perfect because they've been done by a computer. But you sort of live and learn and get used to doing that. The drill bit, just microscopically, the drill bit will just screw off slightly. You might start with your pilot holes perfectly sized. So your pilot holes 3/32, upsize them to 1/8, and then by the time you upsize to 5/32, believe it or not, the holes can just go out of whack slightly. Not a biggie, but something to practice, I guess. Number 4, inventory. Don't stress too much about the inventory, just make sure you got all the parts. That's all you're trying to achieve. I fussed around a bit. Basically I separated my parts into like type parts. So long skinny bits up on the shelf. Small tiny bits, some of those Tupperware containers, throw all your parts into the Tupperware containers. Doesn't matter if one's off the nose wheel, one's off the tail and one's off the wingtip. Put all those parts in there. I labelled all my cupboards. I think I've done that in previous videos. Then go through your inventory, make sure all the parts were there. I was missing, I remember I was missing the steering rods and a piece of L-angle. I wouldn't have worried about the piece of L-angle because you're supplied with heaps of stock L-angle. However, because I was ordering the 2 nose wheel steering rods, I got the L-angle sent out as well. Zenith were great. Once I didn't have to prove, just mention that I've lost, or these parts didn't arrive, and off you go. Some people like to bunch things away. Not the problem, but you sort of waste a bit of time. Say you wanted to put all the horizontal stab pieces together, that's fine. You waste a lot of time, and your shelf may not fit small ribs, long spars, and the skins. So you're better off, I think, just tick it all off, put it in locations, because the next thing you're going to do a shopping list, drag it all out, and so it doesn't matter where it is really. It might take you an extra 5 minutes. So with the inventory, definitely tick things off, but where you put them doesn't necessarily matter. Like I said, I just went with all the long stuff, all the stock, all the sheet, all the bits that fits in cupboards, put it all away, tick it off and label everything, away you go. Okay, number 5, the little sticky labels on the aluminium. I think this has been done to death, but I just use thinners, lacquer thinners, it's called in Australia. It's pretty bad, pretty potent stuff. Use your gloves and respirator or whatever you want to use. Squirt that on, let it sit for about a minute or so, and the stickers will just peel straight off, and then rub the goo off. So all those stickers will come off. Same as the black texture. I don't think there's a real need to mark absolutely everything and going nuts. Some of the parts they're one-off, so you can simply look at the drawing. Oh, it's a dog leg with a Z bend on it. Well, that's only the one part. You don't need to write the numbers all over it. You can if you want. I've kept the aircraft clean. I went through and I've rubbed off all the ink which comes with a 6061 aluminium and the thickness on there. Rubbed all that off, so I've got no texture marks or anything anywhere. The only texture marks I have is on the current project, if you like, or there might be a rivet I've circled. I don't think there is, but on the wings particularly there might be one rivet that I'm not happy with. I'll have to come back to later and tap it with a hammer or something to straighten it out. Number 6, I think we're up to postage. Being in Australia, postage is a killer if you order anything overseas. You want to try and bundle stuff up as much as you can. I think the minimum postage is about $60 just for a bolt or a whatever you're going to get, because of the packaging and what is it, UPS I think, Express, to get it sent over. So if you can, try and bundle stuff up. I know I go onto Aircraft Spruce, I'll add it all to my cart, and when it gets up to a certain amount, for example in Australia I think if it's below $1,000 including post, it avoids import duty and that sort of thing. So, and it's a bit cheaper before it gets too out of hand and surprises you. So what I do is go onto Aircraft Spruce, for instance, slightly add things to my cart, and it sort of just saves it and remembers it there. And then when you've got a substantial amount, click buy, get it sent out. For all the other stuff, try and buy it as local as you can. Number 7, make your decisions early. When I started the build, goes really well. It's not too long before you come to a bit of a roadblock where a decision has to be made. Like for instance, I started building the wings. Do I need a fuel tank vent? Oh, what engine am I going to fit? Not sure. Well, I want to close the wings up, but I don't know what engine I'm going to fit. Is it fuel injected? Do I need return lines? Is it going to be a carby engine? I just need a vent. Do I need a vent on both tanks? See where I'm going? So if you have all your decisions made out, that can be things like I mentioned, the engine, paint, spats. Are you going to fit spats? Your avionics. You want to start collecting wiring diagrams. That'd save you a lot of time. I'm wiring at the moment, sort of shooting from the hip a bit. Zenith supply a nice 0200 wiring schematic, which is my basis if you like, and then from memory just designing my own wiring diagram. Things like your panel layout, I spent a lot of time designing that, so beforehand you could probably work out how you're going to go about it, what system you're going to use. All this stuff can be done while you're waiting for your kit to arrive. Some thought needs to be done to all the aircraft extras. I ordered the center console, which is an extra. There's sliding seats on the 750 Cruzer. I opted not to fit the sliding seats, one because of the weight, and there's, I don't know, complexity if you like to fit those. I'm not sure how much you're actually going to use that, shift the seat, whether it's worth fitting those. But the big thing for me is saving weight. Also, your fuel system is a big one. Like I mentioned before, what engine you're going to run. Are you going to have a header tank where your fuel lines are going to run? It's a bit unrealistic, I believe, the way that Zenith showed it on the plan. A bit too simplistic, and they also hide it inside like the formers. Can be done, but you can also simplify that. So there's a lot of decisions to be made early, and if I had made those decisions prior to or while I was waiting for the kit to come, the build would progress a lot quicker and a lot sort of easier, I guess. It's very easy too to get influenced by other people. Why are you doing that? Oh, maybe I shouldn't. Yes, you should. No, you shouldn't. You know, the little two people on your shoulders. Okay, I think we're up to about number 8. So number 8, budget. You're going to spend a lot of money buying the kit. Obviously, the engine, once you choose on the engine, and your avionics. They're the big 3, I guess. Then don't forget you've got to factor in there all your electrical. Like to actually, you get the components, then you've got to hook it up. That's a bit of a surprise to me how expensive that is. Your consumables, you know, your tape and your adhesives and that sort of stuff. Yeah, if you've got a general sort of shed, you should have a lot of that stuff, but there's continual trips. I'm not complaining, it's good fun, but you have to spend a lot of money. So go to the shops, source all that sort of stuff. You might buy, and I've bought so much of the wrong stuff because you bring it home, you test it, not quite happy, and if you're not happy, save it for the garage jobs or around the house. Get the right stuff, do it properly. When I say do it once, it might take you 2 or 3 goes to get the right stuff. You do it once, do it right, is my attitude. Tools, you're going to buy a lot of tools. I've had times just stop until you know like you could proceed. I think on the last video there, or one of the couple of recent ones, yeah, if the drill was going in sideways, I went down and bought a nice 90 degree drill bit. get the right tools, and it's worth it in the end. And you've got the tools for life, so build another aeroplane. On top of the expense, I didn't have enough rivets. The rivets are on the bench behind me over my right shoulder here. I've just got another order, so I've spent a total of about $450 on extra rivets, a total of 2,000 of each, A4s and A5 extra rivets that weren't included in the kit. I believe if you're in the States, Zenith will just send them straight out to you. I'll be honest, I didn't ask Zenith. It's probably a bit unreasonable to get them for international post and all that. They may or may not have sent them to me here in Australia, but it's a consumable item. I found the exact match, if you like, through the power of Facebook. Someone emailed me a message or sent me a message, giving me the stock number and the supplier, and they were happy to divvy up those rivets. Okay, number 9. Bear with me, we're getting there. Workshop layout. I like to be neat and tidy, if you haven't picked up on that, and have everything organised. A good bench, which I'm sitting at now. This is a 14-foot bench. Fantastic. You don't necessarily need that, although the storage was fantastic. Now the bench is getting in the way a bit, but I do plan to hopefully build more aeroplanes further down the track. Also, things like I've just pulled out the wing struts. I'm doing the interior carpet or upholstery at the moment, so to lay it out on this big bench is fantastic. You can draw on the bench and do all that sort of stuff. So if you've got a big bench, that's fantastic. Storage, plenty of storage. I put in a couple of kitchens on the other side there, just cheap kitchens for cupboard space. Didn't really need all of that, but it's there now. I like to have my tools under control, hanging up, because I like to keep track of my tools. You are going to close the wings up, and the last thing you want is a clicker or something left inside the wing that you can't get out. Wheels, I didn't do it at the start, but now my bench here is on wheels. Work stands, I built a wing stand, which could be done ahead of time as well if you are really keen, and chewing at the bit to get going. You don't really need the dimensions until such time as you put a belt or something in it. If anyone's keen on the wing rack I've got, let me know, and I'll send you out. I think I just drew it on the floor, but I can measure it and send it to you. So it's pretty basic sort of stuff, but that's for your wings. So having said that as well, part of your workshop layout, think about a build sequence. I started with the fin and rudder, as most people do. Bang, they went inside in the spare room, sort of stacked in the corner, thinking I'm not going to use those for about 5 months, and I only just bought them out recently. I've got the horizontal stab and the elevator. Just built them at home, up above me. The flaperons, they were easy to store. And don't forget, while you're building these things, your experience is growing as well. And they're a bit more manageable. Just to build a 4 or 5 or 6 foot, by the looks of it, flaperon before you tackle the wing. Gives you an opportunity just to get used to the rivet gun and the pressures and all that sort of stuff. So also setting up the workshop, I think I've covered that before. Build a box over my compressor to keep it nice and quiet. So just put some thought into your workshop. Lighting could be better in here, but it's comfortable. I've got a heater. It's coming on, hopefully going to get some warmer weather, get some airflow through the place. Now that the aircraft is basically framed up, I think this is a 6 metre by 5 metre shed. It's pretty tight with the benches and all that in here as well. If I was to put the engine on, I'm going to run out of space. It'd work if I put I was originally going to put my wings outside, but today you can probably hear the wind. It's blowing about 40 knots. That's why my wings are inside. They're in the dry. I don't have to worry about them at night time. Okay, last thing I think I'll cover off is number 10, brakes, family, and looking after yourself. Don't get burnt out. So it's pretty self-explanatory, I guess. It's a big project. Try and get your family involved. How you do that is individually based, I guess. If you're a single guy, great, go nuts, but hit the town on a Friday. Downtime, you do need some breaks just to get away and clear your head, although it does sort of absorb you and take over a bit, and you're always thinking about, where do I get some Adele clamps or some zip ties, or I need a bit of rubber edging or something like that. As you go shopping, you're looking around, or I might just duck into the auto store, see if they've got whatever. I think I mentioned it before, I have fallen into the trap of, I'll order something, say from Aircraft Spruce, I'll find it at the auto store, so I'll buy it, then I'll find one at the hardware store, and I sort of pick the best one. And generally, the aviation one is the best one, and it's the most expensive. spend a lot of money trying to take shortcuts, and it just bites you on the bum in the end. So just buy the best, or the best in your budget that you can afford. Don't take any shortcuts. So family, downtime, and do your research. So taking a break from the build, but you can still jump online. There's a fantastic forum there, Zenith Aircraft Builders Forum, I think it is. Once you get used to the search engine, more often than not, most blokes have gone through the same issue or problem. It may not be your exact model of aircraft, i.e. the Cruzer. Like I said earlier, it could be the 750 SD or something like that. But if it's a door hinge, you just find out how someone else has done it, and a lot of time that'll be helpful. If not, you can shoot off your question, and generally within a few hours, someone might have a go at it. So there you go. I hope that if it helps someone, great. If not, thanks for sitting down, watching all that. Not much aircraft stuff, but they're the 10 things that I wish I had, well, probably could have done better. But enjoy your build. If anyone's got any questions, feel free to contact me. Please like and subscribe, and see you on the next video.